Hey guys, Luke here. I'll do a video for you. This one may be just a little bit longer than what mine have been here in the past few days. I got a lot to cram into this one. The first thing I want to say, guys, is I really appreciate all you guys. I really do. If it wasn't for your comments and stuff that you leave me, and just know, guys, I read all your comments. I may not be able to respond to all of them because there's so many of them nowadays, but I do read them, and I do appreciate them, and they don't fall on deaf ears. I do read all of them, okay? At least I think I'm reading all of them. I may miss a few here and there, but I want you guys to know that because, you know, when I'm a sub to somebody and I'm leaving comments and I'm not getting responded to, it does, you know, I don't expect a response, but, you know, it's kind of hard when you leave a comment all the time and you feel like you don't get recognized. I don't want you guys ever to feel like that here, okay? Just know that whenever you do leave a comment, it gets read, and it is much appreciated, because that's what motivates me. It's what keeps me going. I really have no other reason to keep going other than trying to, you know, find out what's going on, find out all this observational evidence that we're able to collect and what we research here. And, you know, because, you know, guys, I don't monetize. So, you know, it's not a financial or a money thing for me. This is something I do just because I think it's important. But anyway, we'll just go with that. But I am getting ready to break 20,000 subs, which I never thought in about a year, a little over a year, of me posting videos. It just still blows my mind that you guys want to listen to what I have to say. But anyway, when that does happen, I've never done a live stream, so I'll probably host a live stream here on my channel. That's what I plan on doing when I do break that number. Maybe I'll bring a couple of you guys in on a hangout, send some links out, get you guys in for a couple minutes or whatever. Or maybe just do the chat, you know, and that way I can communicate with you guys that way directly, you know, instantaneous, and answer your guys' questions or whatever, and stuff like that. Maybe kind of glitchy or buggy when I do that because I've never done a live stream. So, you know, might have to work out some kinks there as we go. But, yeah. So when I break that number, I will do a live stream within, you know, a week or two of breaking that number. And I do appreciate all you guys. So, anyway. On to this. Okay. My previous video was about the CME. Okay, I got some more stuff to add to that. But first thing we're going to talk about here is seeds. Okay, it's down. Still. 4 days. Okay, and it's down during another CME. Okay, and guess what? The CME lit up our object again. How do I know that? Because I couldn't look at it on seeds. I'm going to show you guys what the seeds looks like. Okay, most people know what it does look like, but for anybody that's new or hasn't been here long, this is what this is. The left side is what's most important to us usually. Okay, because we see a lot of stuff there because of the contrast of colors. Alright, it's not as pixelized as what cactus is, and I'll show you guys cactus here in a minute. The right side is what we can look at. We can still look at this on ISWA, okay? The same tool, okay? And this is how I caught this particular CME that happened yesterday. Well, it actually started, believe it or not, guys, started on the 12th. Okay, and I'll show you guys that here in a minute. We'll talk about that. But I wanted to point out that the last few times that the seeds has went down, it has been during the time when we were supposed to be seeing our object. Okay, and the sun's been reacting in the exact position that we said it would, on the exact day that we said it would, for months in a row now. And not just on one side of the sun, okay, because this thing's in a 28-day orbit around the sun, so you're going to see it on one side of the sun. Then as it comes back around, you're going to see it on the other, right? Well, this time, this is on the right side of the sun from our view. Okay? And it's there, right in the exact same place it should be for that exact day. The sun had a CME on the exact day, and it lit it up. And I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. But how I caught this, first off, and this is where working as a team and working with others helps, because I seen this thing, let's see here, this day right here. Okay. Now, this is stereo. This isn't really what I want to show you guys. It is kind of odd that stereo's up and running here on Seeds, but Lasco C2 isn't. They both were down yesterday, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I'm going to pause for a second and take you guys over there. Alright, guys. Got you over here at ISWA. Right here, guys. Okay. So you guys, if you guys know how to navigate this at all, and I've shown you guys how to do this in the past, if you go to ISWA, it's ISWA, you can get to all this stuff. Okay, there's bunches of different tools to look at. I'm looking at Soho Lasco C2. Okay, that's the exact imaging we just seen over at Seeds. They use the same data. They just put it in their own models there. Okay, now what we got here, guys, is if you look at the date, this is the 12th, right? Now you don't see any CME, right? I'm saying that for a reason, because the CME is already starting. Now you're asking, well, what are you talking about? You see this right there? That's the occulter. And I've talked about this 1,000 times. That's there to block the main light of the sun so we can even get a capture. If not, it just gets washed out with the light and overexposed. Won't even see nothing if that wasn't there. Okay? This circle here is basically the actual size of the sun. Okay? That's what that's supposed to represent. So, what I'm saying is, we can't see what is behind this occulter. Okay? Now, watch as I run this time lapse forward. You're going to see the CME. Again, guys, it was over here. So, watch as we go here. We'll go forward here. And something else, guys. If you look down here at the timestamp, this thing is missing data left and right. Okay? All the tools right now are doing that. And I pretty much we know why, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so as we get closer to like the 13th, you see it kind of bulge in there a little bit where the brightness is. See that? Okay, that's the CME. It's blowing out, right? So it goes on out, and actually it looks like we had a second one. Wow, we did. That's the first time I've seen that, guys. Holy cow. Look at that. Yep, 2 of them. Back to back. Boom, boom. Wow. Okay. That's new. Okay. Actually, I mean, heck, if you look there, yeah. It's exactly where it should be happening. I mean, this is just nuts. Just have to say that. I mean, honestly. Anyway, as we're looking at this, right? What I'm saying is, this first one, okay, it started on the 12th, and before we seen it, it took it almost 2 days to make it visible. So what I'm saying is, this is a really slow-moving ejection. Okay, from there to there is about 24 hours. It started moving real slow, and then it like sped up, and then right behind it, you got another one. Now, you know, when we see these back-to-back ones like that, one of the things we have to worry about is something they've just discovered is the interstellar shock waves, is what they call them. What that is it's solar wind or solar energy that's moving at a certain speed, and then either another ejection or some other solar wind or whatever that's behind it is moving faster, and it catches up to it. And when it catches up to it, it causes an interstellar shock. In other words, it has another burst of energy. Okay, so, you know, we have to take that in consideration, because we can get bursts and stuff from that stuff now too. That's something they've just recently discovered that happens. There was a paper written on it, peer reviewed and all that kind of good thing. But as you can see here, guys, I'm showing you this because this is all we had to go off of, right? Well, I actually forgot about cactus. Okay, and I should have been, because it's right there, easy for us to see. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why it's good to know others that do the same thing, and you can kind of work together, because Scott said, hey, let's go look at cactus, because he hadn't seen this on Lasco C2 yet. And I showed it to him, and he went straight to cactus, which is what I should have done if I'd have been thinking right. But he did, and he went over there and he caught this thing. It's pretty cool. And I'm going to show you guys how to get there. Okay, guys, obviously you can get the cactus in multiple different ways. But the easiest way that I found is basically right here on Scott's website. This is planetxnews.org. He writes a lot of good articles, and we're actually going to talk about this article here in a minute. You guys see that sky right there? That was the actual, that has not been touched at all. Okay, that's what the sky actually looked like right before that big typhoon hit Japan and killed at least 40 people, which is completely sad. I hate to hear that kind of stuff. But this is what, and there's an explanation on why the sky looks like this. But we're also going to talk about earthquakes here in a minute, okay? Because we had some stuff develop on that end too. This is what I'm talking about. We got a lot to go over today. But if you go down here, there's a bunch of links, guys. Okay, you see these links about halfway down if you're using your phone. If you're on your PC, it's just off to the right, not down very far. Now you see right here where it says cactus. Okay, you can just click on that and it'll take you to cactus. Okay, this is the cactus website. And what you do is you go down and see where it says difference movie of latest C2 image. Okay, that's LASCO C2, which is the exact same thing we just looked at. And they take that data and they put it into their own model. And it gives us this. Okay, I'm going to hit play. And now, again, I mean, we could pause it and just jump it forward, I guess, if we want to. Because it doesn't start until the 12th, like I said. We're going to try to stop it, too. So, what day is that on? Let's just let it play for a second. Okay, that's the 10th. I'm going to start pausing it here. This is hard to control on this particular website, okay? It's easier if you take a video of it, and then you can kind of slide it back and forth, but I'm not going to do that because I got too much to show you here. All right, now, pause. Okay, so there's the CME. You see that? Okay, and then it went ahead and that was the end of the time lapse that we've seen. So actually, it started on a little. I think it was like at the end of the 12th on the 13th. Okay, yeah, it's right about. See that? Okay, so we didn't get to see this on the other imaging until the 14th. So this is what I'm talking about, because of two different tools. You know, Scott was able to go over here, and he actually got some really good captures. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's a CME. It was not a small one. It was not a huge one, but it wasn't small. Another thing, it was not Earth-directed. Okay, it wasn't Earth-facing, so we ain't got to worry about that. But what it did was, it just gives some more evidence, observational evidence. So, hold on a second, and I'll show you. I'm going to pause. Okay, guys, first thing I'm going to say, cactus is extremely pixelated. Always is, okay? You're not going to get the clearest pictures on cactus ever, all right? Scott's able to clean it up with the software he has. He can only clean it up so much, though. I mean, when you're working with, well, a turd, you can't really polish it up, right? Not to get it to shine real bad. So, what I'm saying is that, you know, we can only do so much with this to show you guys in a good high def like pic. But obviously, guys, look, I mean, this is no filter, no nothing. This is just simply zoomed in with an arrow on it. Okay, yeah, and it's the exact day that it should. See that? In the exact position where the 28-day cycle would have it to be. Now, this time around, we caught it on the left side and on the right side of the sun both times this time. Exactly when we said it was going to be there. Okay? The sun reacted the same exact time on both sides like we said it would. It lit it up. There it is. Okay? Now, this does have a filter, and this does actually show it better. And this is why he did this. This was something he did really quick because he was extremely busy this morning. So I'm sure he'll run these through some more. Okay. Obviously, you guys can see that. I mean, it's not hard to see. Yeah. And what makes it even more crazy to think about, if you look at this, you can tell that even has almost like a halo around it. And I'm using the halo very loosely there, okay? What I'm saying is that this is not attached to any of this, any of the ejection material, okay? Because you can see the dead space in between. Here's the ejection material kind of outline, and then here is the dead space in between, and then the object's right in the middle, okay? This is probably hitting the magnetic field of our object here, and it's kind of brushing over it and doing what it normally does. It is a bit difficult to see, again, because it is cactus. This is why we like the seed site. All right, so when seeds is down, it does make it harder for us. It just does. So yeah, I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay, guys, this is the article that Scott wrote on this. This is the skies right before the typhoon that hit Japan. Okay, this is over at his planetxnews.org. I'll leave a link to it. We're going to jump in there and just look at it for a minute here. We'll have you guys just go over and read this article. You guys can. It's got some really good pics here to check out. And again, these are unenhanced. These are just straight boom pictures. Okay, straight captures. Look at that. I mean, isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful, but what's behind it is destructive and evil. I'll just say it that way. But yeah, I mean, look at that. So what's causing that to happen? Well, there actually is. I mean, look at that. Isn't that cool? I mean, that's just awesome. And again, there you go. Lots and lots of captures to look at here, guys. But there is, like I said, there is a reason for it. Basically, what it's saying is they're calling it scattering. Okay, it's a weather phenomenon that occurs when heavy rain, washes large molecules from the sky. Okay, and what it does is it washes the big ones away and leaves the small ones up there. And when the moisture and the rain and stuff and the light, when the light goes through those smaller molecules, it reflects in a different way. Basically, it's like looking through a prism, if you guys can kind of think of that way. You change the size of the prism or the angle, you get different colors, right? That's kind of what's going on here. So, just the moisture in the air, the smaller moisture molecules is what the light's passing through. So that's why you get these different colors. Okay, it's all about the light spectrum there, how the light's getting bent and what we can see with our eyes. So, it's just really cool to see that kind of stuff. It does have a very, very good explanation there. But, man, it's sad to see what was behind that. Killed at least 40 people. They're calling the sky turned electric purple is what they're calling it. Just hours before Hagibis, I think that's the name of the typhoon, hit Japan. So, yeah, guys, go check this article out. For no other reason but just check these pictures out. It's cool. Okay, now here's where it starts getting really sucky. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Earthquakes, man. Like I said yesterday in my video, right after I posted my video, this earthquake hit. I mean, serious, dead serious. You guys go look at the timestamps and when this earthquake happened, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, it was like within an hour or two of me posting that video that this earthquake cracked off. Now, again, this isn't a huge earthquake. And there's a lot around this. And the biggest thing here, guys, well, there's two big things. After this earthquake hit, it was a 4.5. It wasn't very deep, okay? Number one, it's pretty shallow. And then the other thing, guys, is it was pretty highly populated area, okay? I'm not sure if you guys remember the ones, if you guys were alive then, back during the World Series when they had the Oakland and Oakland and San Francisco were in the World Series. I think they called it like the Battle of the Bays or something like that back then. But yeah, that's when, well, if anybody knows anything about sports, Jose Canseco, well, Mark McGwire was on that Oakland team, so called them the Bash Brothers. Anyway, sorry about that. This right here is in a very highly populated area. Okay, so when they're shallow, they shake more, you feel it more. Okay, so when you add more people, more buildings. Now the buildings here are most likely up to code. Okay, so you're not going to have the massive, buildings falling or anything like that unless you get up nines and tens probably. Eights, you're going to definitely see some damage with an eight or plus. But and then the second thing here, guys, is there was a big swarm of earthquakes after that, which isn't so uncommon. It's just that it shows that there was some. I mean, that really was a very intense thing going on there. Okay, it might not have been high magnitude, but there was a lot of energy with it. And we've all, like I said, there's been earthquakes here bunches of times. But, again, we're way overdue. Way overdue. Alright? Okay, guys, I don't know why I did this, but my spidey senses were tingling, and I thought, well, I better go check and see what the up-to-date earthquake stuff has happened. I just checked this like an hour ago. But this right here, the one that you're looking at in red there, that's the one that happened last night. Okay, you can see the timestamp there. Well, early this morning, I guess. At 5 UTC, 5:33 UTC. It was at a 4.7. They downgraded it to 4.5, which is very typical with USGS. They just do that almost every time. The other agencies across the world don't typically bring them down as quick or as far, but that's what we got to work with. So, but I went and checked. Now we're seeing, again, you guys can see all the ones from California right here. I mean, they're just there's a big swarm of them. And if we look at the smaller ones, which I don't have on this one, there's a bunch of small ones. Now, a lot of people would call those aftershocks or what have you. There's a way to tell the difference between an aftershock and a new earthquake, but I'm not sure exactly what that is. But, they're all happening around the same area, same time, so they got to be related, I would think. But anyway, I was like, man, I better go check that again. Well, there's a 4.9, of course, that isn't in California. Okay, in Papua New Guinea, Alaska. When that says Georgia, guys, that's a country. Okay, that's not the state for those of us that live here. But look, okay, that's bigger than the one we just looked at, and this just happened. I am doing this video at what time? This happened like a half hour ago, if that. This was happening while I was making this video. Let's see here. We're going to take a look at this real quick. Okay. If you guys click on that, you guys can see. Okay. Now, when you see green, that's a good thing. That means that it's not bad. Okay. Now, then all you got to do is click on where the yellow is, and it'll take you to a shake map. Okay. These are interactive maps, and it kind of shows you exactly where it was located, how big it was. And even actually, if you guys live in the area, you can report if you feel it or not. They actually want you to do that. But yeah, you can go here. Intensity, obviously, you guys can see the shake map, how it was going to page out. And they even put, estimated fatalities for these kinds of things. You can look at that if you need to. Obviously, this is a good resource to go to if something happens in your area. You can go click that up. And also, guys, let me back that off and see what. Okay, yeah, when you do click on this like that, a lot of times you'll see over here it'll look like a wave, What that is that's a way to tell if there's going to be any kind of tsunami with it, or if they're going to issue a tsunami watch or warning. So I know I don't have to say this, but earthquake watch is still in effect. Okay, it's not going to slow down, guys. It's just not. There's too much going on. There's a 5.1 right there in Panama. It just happened. So, stuff is cracking. I mean, 4s and 5s isn't so much the biggest deal here. Like I said yesterday, we're now 93 days overdue. Well, 63 days. I got to take 30 days off there for the first month. But, like 63 days overdue for a 7+ earthquake. I hate to say it like this, but we need to have one. Okay? Because if we don't, all that stuff is just going to keep building. That pressure is going to keep building. And when it does finally crack off, you're going to see a bigger than what we really, really want. Okay? We don't really want these big ones in high populated areas. We need them to be out where nobody's at, where they can't hurt nobody. Okay? But we need to have them. People have to understand that. We have to have them. If we don't, it causes too much energy to build up, and then we have the big ones, and that's really when catastrophes happen. So you have to understand that. It's a necessity. It'll help, with volcanoes, all that stuff. All that stuff's connected seismically throughout the whole globe. All right, guys. This right here, guys, is the SDO. I showed you guys this yesterday. I would encourage you guys to go back and look at my previous video, or even go over to SDO yourself and run a time lapse to see like 3 or 4 days behind us, because you can watch the coronal holes and you'll see when they're going to come earth facing. Just remember, if you do that, here's the earth. Basically, that was bad. That's basically the equator of the sun. Okay, and we sit just to the south. Okay, so anything rotating through us that way will affect us. Okay, it'll be a few days down the road, but it will affect us. And something I want you guys to pay attention to. Whenever you see these, especially on this right here is the 193 angstrom, just that part of the light spectrum. This is the filter they use. You see how we're getting like darker shaded areas here? That is the beginning of a coronal hole opening up. Or at least the atmosphere is thinner there on the sun. Okay. Now, how can you can actually, if you zoom right down into this, you can see where some of it's already open. It's completely black. Those are small, and it would be very, very small hits on us. I shouldn't say small hits. I should say more quick hits, not long lasting, small in duration. But how can we say, hey, that's what's going on? Well, if you go look at the 211, you can definitely see where the sun's atmosphere is opening up. Okay, so this is how we tell if the coronal holes are starting to, form or open up, I should say. I don't know if we call them form, because they're just, the atmosphere opens up. Now, Scott's got that really neat technique he uses for the overlays and stuff that he does there, and he shows the charged particles. Basically, it gives you a really good visual what's actually behind and what's actually the solar wind is. It's those charged particles, coming our way at a certain speed. So, but just know that this is the most current. Okay, so these right here, if they open up more, they're going to rotate right through where we're at. Okay, and 3 to 4 days from now, we'll see effects from those. What I'm saying is, this solar wind event that we're having right now, which is why we've increased the earthquake risk, basically put out the watch type of thing going on, is because this is becoming a constant thing. This is day after day after day after day of these small openings, most of them. This one here isn't like small, but it's not big by no means. Okay. That right there is already rotated past us, so I showed you guys this yesterday. We'll see the effects of that in 2 to 3 days from right now. So whenever we're getting these solar winds, the increases in them, we got to pay attention to earthquakes, guys. They're going to keep popping, and I'm telling you, I mean, it's obvious that we can say, hey, we're going to have a 7+, because eventually it will happen no matter what. Okay, but the deal right now is we're way overdue. We need to have one. We really do. Because if we don't, and all that just keeps building for months and months, and stuff just doesn't move, and everything just builds up, then something really snaps off, and it could really be bad. So all we can, we really need to get back on the average, and we want it to happen out way where nobody's at. Alright guys, I am going to end the video here. I will put a model update at the end with some music for you guys. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for sticking around and, keeping me motivated doing this. I will leave you here with this because I do want to show you that's that first CME right there, and watch the second one come right behind it. Okay, that's a separate CME. Okay, just want you guys to see that, because that's, well, I'll tell you what, let me just play it and I'll zoom in. How about that? But yeah, I mean, there's stuff going on. The earthquake stuff, guys, really worries me. That does bother me. We got stuff going on with our magnetosphere also. I'm seeing signatures that I've never seen before. We've got this big opening behind us right now that is, it's not necessarily what exactly what I'm saying, but it's definitely not what we're used to seeing. And it's a large, man, it's like everything just kind of got bigger. It's just really, and I'll go into that in my next video. But yeah, wanted you guys to see that, and when I get to that 20K, guys, we'll have us a live stream, and we'll do it that way, and hopefully you guys can check this one out. Hopefully you guys kind of learn something here a little bit. I just want to keep you guys updated on what's going on. Please pay attention to the earthquake stuff. Always pay attention to your weather. That's another thing that's changing really, really crazily. There's so many polar vortexes now. You can't even, it's ridiculous how much the polar jet stream has changed. And Scott's covered that beautifully, in my opinion. He's showed that a lot. He's done a lot of research on that, even since he was in college and stuff. I've been a weather watcher since I was a kid, so I know exactly what he's talking about when he's speaking those things, those terms and stuff. I actually did some reports and stuff on tornadoes and stuff when I was a kid. But, yeah, so, at the end of the day, guys, it's really what is happening to you directly. So what affects you directly for the short term typically is weather, okay? We talk about the space weather because it affects our geological weather. Okay? That's why we do that. Because it affects it. And our weather outside directly affects you, like right now. Okay? So, and earthquakes will affect you right now. Volcanoes will affect you right now. So all this stuff that's happening outside in space that's affecting this stuff is adding to what affects us right now. And that's why we report on it, and that's what we try to do. And I just wanted to show you guys this right here because, I wanted to show you that it takes a village sometimes, guys. I didn't think to go look at cactus, and Scott did. He went over there, and he found exactly what we needed to see. He found that this CME that I was showing yesterday actually started a day or two before we even seen it. Number one, that's odd in the fact that it was moving that slow. Okay, that's extremely slow. Just have to say that. It started slow, but then it got a little bit faster as it moved out past the sun. And then he was able to see that, so we were kind of sharing information, and we were able to catch what we needed to catch and see what we needed to see. I just wanted to show you guys that process and give you a little bit of insight of what actually goes on behind the scenes sometimes. And it does make it hard when seeds isn't up on catching those kinds of things, because cactus just is not as clear. And I don't have the software stuff that Scott does to upgrade that stuff to 4K stuff. And even sometimes, like I said, with the cactus stuff, when he upgrades it to 4K through cactus, from a cactus picture, even sometimes that doesn't come out the greatest because it's just, really bad pixelization. So, anyway, guys, there'll be a model update with some music. Hope you guys enjoy that. I'll get back with you guys tomorrow probably. God bless. She was saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.
An open book. You used to say, live and let live. But if this ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in and cry, say live and let die. ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in and cry. Say live and let die.